I love shoulder press. Blow me neck. That's got me lightheaded. What's up guys? Liam here. Welcome back to LSJ TV. Today's video is the first session on plan of 2020. I am absolutely buzzing. I've written myself this plan. It's good. It's tailored to what I have available to me. It's tailored to what I like doing. I'm loving training at the minute as it is, and so just doing more of what I love is important to me in 2020. More of what makes me feel good, more of what makes me happy. I think if you do this whole social media thing, you can get wrapped up in a little bubble of doing what you think other people want you to do and doing what other people want to see. You know, whether it's bulking, whether it's cutting, whatever that thing is. I mean, everyone has something. I feel like you can get caught up in it, and I mean, I know it's not just me. Like, I have other friends that I literally spoken to about this the other day. They feel the same too, and so I'm excited at the start of 2020 to start doing me. Not that I wasn't in the first place, but you know what I mean. I feel good. That's what I'm trying to say. This mix is good. Woo. So one of the beauties about these power blocks, right, is that they have all these numbers here. I explain this in the home gym tour, but I get asked it all the time, so I'm gonna explain again. For lateral raises, I'm usually on 9, which means we are on the first channel down here. I'm gonna start putting it on the second one, but then take a couple of the bars out in between, which means it's gonna be 11 or 12.5. So, I'm gonna take just one of them out to start off with, kind of assess where I'm at, and go from there. So, one out on the white, and again, boom, one out, and on the white. Together, that means 12.5 kilos per arm, which is very, very doable. It's just a form of progression within the home gym, you know, because it can be easy when you have power blocks to just jump and jump and jump. I did it with the, just then. I did it with the incline just then. I jumped from 32 to 36. It was too much. I should have gone to 33 or 34, but I didn't. I just jumped it. So I'm taking the extra time, taking the extra second, just to keep that progressive overload going properly, you know, rather than just shifting a bit more weight because I feel like it. So, oh yeah, perfect. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 10 reps, 4, we're going to be doing 4 sets of 12, 4 sets of 10 today, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, nice, felt good. Would prefer a slight more pause at the top though, so I'm going to stick with that for a while, nail it down, then progress. I'm feeling so good today, I can't even explain it.
one. James, yeah, on the dance floor.
She's right.
Little hardcore from the front to the back. That's where I was at. After you like that. Craig David all over your blank. Damn, stop it.
So, although that clip has absolutely nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing to do with the title of this video, the content of this video, I just thought it was funny. It was a New Year clip from myself and Charlotte, and I hadn't had a chance to, or found a way to kind of fit it into a video. So I just wanted to like stick it in there because it's funny and I just want to remember it, you know? It's one of the reasons why I make these videos. I like making memories, well, I love making memories. I've always taken photos, always taken videos, kind of obsess over it really. I like being able to look back in detail, in depth, with a story through video, you know? So the title of today's video, that's right people, I am officially bulking. Kind of. I mean, like by that I mean, you know, if I want this biscuit, I'm gonna have this biscuit, you know? So, one thing I've always said is that the gym is a part of my life. It's not, you know what, hang on. Cheers. So, one thing I've always said is that the gym is a part of my life. It is not my entire life. It's a big part of my life and it's a part of my life that I love. It's my favourite kind of hobby, I mean aside from making videos and stuff, but I make videos a lot to do with the gym a lot of the time. I mean, it's just my life, which again, a lot of it is the gym. So with that in mind, this whole kind of bulking and cutting thing, I always take it with a grain of salt and I do kind of essentially what I want along the way because I'm not a professional bodybuilder. I have no aspiration to be. I'd love to compete one day, but not anytime soon, you know? I'd love to do it one day for the experience and then, I mean, some people say that you do it once and then you kind of get hooked. I don't plan on that, but you know, it could happen. So never say never sort of thing, but I would love to compete one day, just not yet. So I don't need to be on it with every single macro, on it with every single friggin' teeny tiny little detail. I just don't need to do that. It's far too much stress. The gym is something that I love and making videos is something that I love, and if focusing in on that too much just takes over the enjoyment of it for me personally anyway. And I also find that if you try too hard with the macros and you try too hard with like just everything to do with the gym, you can burn out and then you just binge and you binge and binge and binge. What I have done for the past year pretty much now is this sustainable kind of diet, as I've called it. I've slowly but surely lost weight, not lost any strength. If anything, my strength has gone up. I've essentially just done a body recomp. Like, I've changed my body composition over the past year. I've not really gained an awful lot in terms of body weight. Well, I haven't. I'm lighter than I was this time last year by about 10 to 15 pounds, right? But on top of that 10 to 15 pounds, assuming less fat, there's also more muscle on my frame. And that is kind of what I plan to do again over the next couple of years, over the next 5 years, over the next 10 years. Essentially, I don't tend to follow this typical bulk and cut. I mean, I do, but I also don't. Yeah, I go through phases where I increase calories and phases where I decrease calories, but nowadays I keep my cardio the same, I do my training the same. I used to change everything around and I don't. That's far, far too complicated. Nowadays I'll just stick to what I'm used to doing, stick to what I enjoy doing, and play around with everything else as and when it's needed, you know, rather than saying, this is what I have to be doing. Otherwise, I'm not going to get any results, because that is just simply exhibit A, you know? Not true. Not that I'm friggin' shredded or anything, you know, but anyone who thinks I look the same now as I did this time last year is just an idiot. One thing that I always have done in terms of the dieting phase is I've lost anywhere between 20 to 30 pounds every time I've kind of done it over a sustained period of time. It's not been like 2 pounds a week, 3 pounds a week, 4 pounds a week, super shredded, super fast. It's always been a slow and steady kind of sustainable period of time, if that makes sense, which I feel is where I slightly differ from the typical bodybuilder bulk cut. I follow it, but loosely, you know? So when I was at uni, I got into like 200 plus pounds. Bear in mind, I'm like 5'6", you know? I'm a small guy, and I was big. Like, I was first year fat. as I like to call it. Well, I kind of just, the name just kind of got adopted after myself and my family started making a joke out of it. But anyway, we are here now. You know, everybody's been there, done that, made their mistakes. That was mine in first year. I just let myself go just a little bit too much, you know. So from that 205, I kind of went down to around about 175, which is again about £30. Then the next summer I was up to 195, then I kind of went down again, which is about £20 less. By the time that I've been training for 5 years, I want to be in a decent kind of body composition at the end of my bulk, you know. I feel like I look okay right now, you know, in terms of size, in terms of definition, but you know, I've only been training for 3 years and that shows, you know, you can tell. But my bulking and cutting phases have been essentially a slow and steady body composition change, right? Accepting the fact that it's not going to happen overnight. I've accepted that from day one. When I was at 205 pounds, like plus maybe more than that, I accepted that, you know, I could lose weight over summer, and I did. But I wasn't going to look like friggin' Steve Cook by the end of it, you know? That would take a decade, or, well, more, let's be real. It would take about 20 friggin' years to look like that. But what I have known the entire time in my head, and if you ask any of my family members or the cameraman, I used to rant to him about this a lot, right? I used to rant to him about my whole 5-year plan, so I'm going to get slightly less first year fat at the end of every bulk, and then slightly leaner at the end of every cut, and then slightly less first year fat at the end of every bulk, and then slightly leaner at the end of this cut, and then slightly less, and then slightly less, and then slightly less, and then all of a sudden, when you're at the end of the bulk, you're down here where your initial end of your cut was, if that makes sense. So the end of your bulk is now better than the end of your cut a few years ago. That makes sense, right? Anyway, I am officially bulking, and that is just pretty much what you can kind of take from this video. And by bulking, I just mean I don't want to go above 180, really. 180 pounds, because then if I lose to 20, that will maybe a little bit more, that will bring me down into the 150s. And all of a sudden, 5'6" in the 150 pounds is a little bit more realistic to be lean, you know? And at the end of the day, I want this to be my job, and I do need to look a certain way, really, kind of. Not really, but you kind of do, don't you? One important thing to say is that I'm not saying that this is the exact way that everybody should do this. I think that is one massive mistake that people make in the industry. They say that you have to do things this way, otherwise you're not going to get results. You have to be eating from the Tupperware, otherwise you're not going to get results. It'd be like me saying you have to have this real sustainable thing that takes 5 years, otherwise you're going to look like shit. And it's like, no, that's not the case, because eating out of Tupperware works for some people. That's not for me. This kind of sustainable, more sustainable, slower approach, accepting the fact that it's going to take years. You have to enjoy that kind of process. Like, I love looking back at old videos, how crap they are. I love looking back and seeing how crap I look, and then I can look in the mirror and think, okay, yeah, you know, we're actually getting somewhere. We've got these progress photos, we've got this progress videos. You know, we are getting towards where we want to be. And so I'm looking forward to adding on a bit of size over the next maybe 2 to 3 months, which is not long, I know, but you've got to bear in mind, I've lost body fat, but also increased muscle mass over the past few months. And so we're going to be in a much better position come body power, let's say, than we were last year. I feel like I was very round in the face at body power still, even though I actually looked okay in comparison to body power the year before. But I look forward to friggin' destroying it this year. I think it's going to be good. I've got a lot more of a plan kind of in my head as to how I can balance everything a lot better, and that is the key thing at the end of the day, isn't it? So balancing, enjoying, just making it sustainable. Sustainability is key. So that is it, people. How long is this going to last? I don't know. However long it takes. Maybe February, March, April. I don't know. We shall see. We'll take it as it comes. As long as I'm not getting too fat, then it's okay. As long as I'm not getting first year fat. Keep an eye on the scales, and we'll just keep going. And we'll be good. Trust me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this extra video. Let me know if you enjoyed it in the comment section down below by leaving a like, comment down below, subscribe if you are new, share it with a friend, share it with your families. Thank you for your support on the recent videos. Views over Christmas have been freaking awesome. So hopefully this momentum continues into 2020 and we have a good freaking year. I've got a good feeling. We got off to a good start, so we've got to keep this momentum going. And to do that, I need you to like the video, comment down below, subscribe if you are new, share it with a friend. Thank you very much. You done it? I'll just give you a sec. Hang on. You done it? Nice one. Thank you very much for watching today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. I'll say it again. Like, comment, share, subscribe. It really, really does help. Together we will grow. Happy New Year, you absolute bunch of freaking legends. Next video will be live tomorrow, of course. Wednesday, Sunday schedule. We are on it. Oh, and Charlotte's in it too, so, you know, it's always going to be jokes. But I'll see you then. A much love. A goodbye.